Yes. Hey, hey guys. Thank you for being here. First time in London for me. I like the city. So I'm Badreddine. I wrote my thesis as one of the first students on blockchain technology in the Netherlands, and I've been helping companies and government institutions understand what's happening around and how they can benefit from it. Also helping students with their theses and research papers. And lastly, I'm also one of the organizers of big blockchain innovation conference, the largest conference in the Netherlands, together with Vincent Everts. He's sitting over there. Vincent, please wave. There you are. Red suit, easy to recognize. Have a chat with him. In August, so a couple months ago, I wrote this article for the Jakarta Post on blockchain and the sustainable development goals. And that's actually how Max invited me to come and talk about this topic. Because today, when we talk about blockchain, and we talk about mostly about cryptocurrencies, trading, Lambo land, going to the moon, and all kind of that stuff, but I really believe blockchain isn't about that. It is more than that. And if we has any, just to poll, who has read this book? Okay, so the other guys in the audience, please make sure to read this one. One of the best books I've ever read. And I'm not holding any shares in this company, so to promote it. But basically what this author says is that we as human beings, we need to collaborate to have an impact, like ants and bees. So one ant cannot carry a peanut. It needs a network. And that's how we have evolved over time through civilization, through collaborative networks. But the thing is, who is at the center of the network, so for the decision making, for the governance, for the rules, whoever is at the center of the network becomes very powerful. And that is in some cases good, but it can also be problematic. And with blockchain, we have a new way of applying governance to a network, especially digital networks, where rules and the enforcement of them are not enacted by a central party, but rather by math and by cryptography. So that's basically, for me, what blockchain is. And this brings us to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals that were set up by the UN, and those are the shift from the Millennium Goals, so those are the new ones. And we see a quite variety of things. And if we combine blockchain with those Sustainable Development Goals, there are some goals which are very, very connected to the SDGs, to the Social Sustainable Development Goals. So think of strong institutions. We see governments experimenting with blockchain. Why? To provide better public services. We reduce inequalities and innovation infrastructure and the industry. So if we have a look at reduced inequalities, we can say that financial inclusion is crucial to do so. To reduce the inequality, people have to have access to financial services. Yet, with remittances that are increasing over and over, that have been increasing over the past years, there are some problems. And like Dilip Ratha, an economist with a very good talk on TED, he says remittances are dollars wrapped with love, because people leave their home country, go abroad, make money, and send it back home. So those remittances are a lifeline for communities, for dozens of people, just in one family. It's not about sending money. But at the same time, the costs for remittances have been decreasing very, very slowly. And in some corridors, there are even, people have to pay a cut of 20–25%. And that's disgusting, especially in this time. How many money does it take to send a WhatsApp or an email? It's for free. So why should you take money from those world's poorest people? Again, those are dollars wrapped with love. It's not about just sending money. It's sending a lifeline back home. And if you compare the cut that these companies take out of this equation, it is in the billions of dollars every year again. And according to the experts, a lot of these companies, they inflate the cost intentionally to make money. And just remember what I said, whoever is at the center of the network becomes very powerful. So people sending money today have to go through these powerful intermediaries, so these money remittances services. And yes, the financial system is very complex, it is multi-layered, but also there's also an element of power that's being kind of misused in the benefit of their own corporations and not in the benefit of billions of people or 100 billions of people. And if you compare the aid that's being given, it's also in the tens of billions of US dollars. It's probably it's going to the same amount of money that's being taken from those people. So instead of only sending money abroad, so from us here in the West, we could also decide to make sure that the money they send actually stays at them without having these powerful intermediaries taking a huge cut. And there are several initiatives. So, for example, the Combank in India and the Ant Financial in Hong Kong, which have launched remittance services aiming to lower the cost for sending money. And again, here in Europe, it might be different than in certain parts of Africa or in Asia. And speaking about money, the World Food Program, also from the United Nations, they hand out $1.4 billion US annually in cash and in digital vouchers to more than 100 recipients, 100 million recipients in approximately 80 countries. Yet, there are some problems with the current system. So the money flows in from the donor up until the retailer or to the recipient, and there are a lot of intermediaries in between. And adding on top of that, there is also security risk because these vouchers can be counterfeit. So what they did is they started a pilot in Jordan using blockchain to make sure the refugees can pay for food and drinks without going through an intermediary. So every refugee receives a wallet. They are connected to the local shops. So instead of handing out food, they are handing out money through a blockchain-based platform. And the refugees, 100,000 that are participating in this pilot, can now pay for their food and drinks by themselves through a cryptocurrency wallet. And at the end of the month, the World Food Program makes like a bulk payment to the retailers to ensure they got what they gave out. So instead of having 100,000 transactions, you can also have like 20 or 30 transactions at the end of the month, just with the info of retailers. And as a result, $150K US was saved in this pilot only. That's the potential, guys, for 100,000 people. And remember, 80 countries, 100 million people all over the world, $1.4 billion that's being handed out by the World Food Program. So again, and this is basically how it works. So the private key is their iris scan, so they don't even need to have a mobile phone. They just step in, scan their eyes, because the eye works as a private key, it's unique, and they're good to go. So this basically contributes to the social sustainable development goal 10. And if we have a look at 8 and 9, so innovation, infrastructure, I think blockchain is also excellent, because every blockchain project today is mostly open source. So if we have a look at the protocols, Bitcoin, Ethereum, but also the private ones, Hyperledger, they are open source software. And all the applications that are built on top of these blockchains are often also open source, because in order to trust the application, you have to know what's happening under the hood, right? So you cannot do blockchain without open sourcing your software. And with the internet in the 90s, all of this was concentrated in one place, Silicon Valley. That's where every internet application was developed. And with blockchain today, it isn't concentrated in Silicon Valley. And that's a great thing. So we see Japan, South Korea, some countries in Africa. We see Zurich in Europe, London. So it isn't concentrated in Silicon Valley. And that's great to see, because this really contributes to the innovation and infrastructure when it comes to blockchain in the context of the sustainable development goals. And speaking about maps, this is the corruption perception index. So it shows how high or how low the corruption is. And yes, it's debatable, so you can say this country has other types of corruption, but the idea here is to tell that this blockchain, that the solution, that the problems solved by blockchain differ per country. So here in the UK, who's afraid that the government will change stuff in the land registry and he or she will lose her land? I think no one. Same goes to the Netherlands. We have very good systems for that. But as you can see, most of the countries are in red. That doesn't mean that their problems are unique compared to us. So, strong institutions, one of the goal number 16. And as we see, for example, in India right now, governments are using the blockchain to make sure that the land titles are registered on the blockchain. Again, you can have a debate, well, is it immutable? Can someone remove it because it's based on the protocol, right? Some protocols are stronger than the other. But at least it is more open than the closed systems today. And this guy, Alec Sharon, he was one of our speakers at our last edition. He explained how his government, so Prime Minister Modi, gave the assignment to his employees to make sure that land titles, so they're running an experiment right now to register land titles on the blockchain. And that's wonderful, because land titles are often strongly related to access to finance, think of loans, credits, etc. Because the moment you can prove you own a piece of land, it can function as a backup when applying for credit. So people can actually have the thing that they have right on without the chance of being of someone take it away from them, and that's great to see. So as you see, so the land titles do not only impact reducing inequalities and strong institutions, but they also impact goal number 11, sustainable cities and communities, zero hunger and no poverty. So once solving just one piece of one of the social sustainable development goals is often impacting several others, as we just saw with the land titles and access to finance. And to make sure, blockchain is not a singular solution, so it will not solve every problem we have today. We need an inclusive approach. As Warholz has already said, we are having multiple technologies, emerging technologies, and those will emerge and work all together. And blockchain will probably be the infrastructure for it. And of course, you need also macro and micro politics and economic policies. And blockchain is just a puzzle, it's just a piece of the big solution. That's very important to highlight. And the last goal, which is partnerships for the goals. In order to reach these goals, you need to have partnerships. And that's basically also the case for blockchain. Because with blockchain, we are going from ecosystems to ecosystems. You have to collaborate with ecosystem partners. You cannot do blockchain individually. You need others. So blockchain holds a big potential to solve problems, help us move forward. But in my opinion, this challenge, going from ego to eco, will be the biggest barrier to adoption. Because if you have a look at the internet in the 90s, we could not send an email with an attachment of 1 MB, let alone watch a YouTube movie. The technicalities, it wasn't ready. And the throughput and the bandwidth, etc., it was very slow. But the technicalities, they were solved eventually. Because there are a lot of smart people out there working on very, very, very important stuff. The biggest challenge, when it comes to blockchain, is often stated to be transaction output. So Bitcoin can only do 7 transactions, Ethereum can only do 25 transactions. But I can assure you that these problems will be solved because we have smart people out there working at MIT, at all the universities doing research about this. The thingy, however, is the change in mindset, grow from an ego to an ecosystem. So you have to collaborate with others. You probably have to give out power in order to create value. You have to be transparent. And that can be very, very challenging for companies and organizations that have been working, that have had standards for over 100, sometimes centuries. And shifting from the ego to an ecosystem, that will be the biggest challenge in my opinion. Thank you for your time.
Badreddine, so much for that talk.
You're welcome.
So, from ego to eco, from blockchain and the UN Sustainable Development Goals onto blockchain and solar. Let's explore how blockchain can help the energy sector move towards a more renewable energy future, help decarbonize, help decentralize, digitize, and democratize. How is blockchain the driving force in realizing that opportunity? Our next speaker is Jojo Hubbard, co-founder and COO of Electron, a London-based company that harnesses blockchain technologies for a more flexible, a more resilient and efficient system for the energy sector. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Jojo Hubbard.